You know, Claudia, sometimes I think English grammar is like walking on a frozen lake. Everything feels fine until suddenly, crack, you've made a mistake you didn't even see coming.
And what's funny is, these aren't the basic beginner mistakes. We're talking about the sneaky ones, the kind of mistakes that even native speakers make every single day without realizing it.
Exactly. And if someone who's been speaking English since they were a toddler can mess them up, then it's worth us paying attention because fixing them makes you sound instantly more polished.
And the best part? Sometimes just one small change is all it takes. Like, have you noticed how people confuse less and fewer all the time?
Oh yeah, that one's everywhere. Technically, less is for things you can't count, water, sugar, patience, and fewer is for things you can count, chairs, people, books. But then you walk into a supermarket and see a sign that says 10 items or less.
Which should be 10 items or fewer, but is so common even big companies get it wrong.
Quick challenge for anyone listening. I'm going to give you 3 sentences and you see if you can fill in the blank with less or fewer. First one, there are blank apples in the basket than yesterday. Second, I have blank patience today than I did yesterday. Third, he owns blank cars than his brother. Got your answers? The first is fewer apples, the second is less patience, and the third is fewer cars. If you got them all right, you're already ahead of half the population.
And here's another classic, mixing up me and I. People overthink it and think I always sounds more correct, so they overuse it. This is between you and I. No, it's between you and me.
The trick is so easy. Just remove the other person from the sentence. Would you say between I? No, you'd say between me. Same with he gave the tickets to Sarah and I. Remove Sarah. Would you ever say he gave the tickets to I? Never.
I used to make that one without realizing it because it just sounded more formal. But really, formal doesn't mean correct.
Speaking of formal, who and whom? I know half of you just groaned. Even native speakers freeze up when they get to whom. Here's the shortcut. If you can replace it with he or she, use who. If you can replace it with him or her, use whom. Who is calling? He is calling. To whom should I send this? I should send this to him.
Although, let's be real, in casual conversation, whom is slowly disappearing. Most people just say who for everything unless they're writing something formal.
True. Now, here's a sneaky one I love. The difference between that and which. It sounds tiny, but it changes meaning. The car that is red belongs to Sarah. That means she has more than one car, and the red one is hers. The car, which is red, belongs to Sarah. That means she has one car, and I'm just giving you extra info about the color.
Tiny changes, big difference. And while we're on the subject of big differences, can we talk about literally? Native speakers abuse that word more than any other.
Oh, totally. Literally means exactly as stated, but people use it for emphasis when it's not literal at all. I literally died laughing. No, you didn't, unless you're recording this from the afterlife.
Although language changes, and literally is starting to be accepted as exaggeration in casual speech. But if you want to sound precise, use it only for things that actually happened.
You know another one natives constantly mix up? Lay and lie. And it's not their fault. English made it way more confusing than it needed to be. Lay means to put something down. Lie means to rest yourself. Yesterday, I laid the book on the table. But yesterday, I lay on the sofa. And just to make things more fun, the past tense of lie is lay.
Honestly, I still have to pause sometimes and check myself on that.
Same, and don't get me started on everyday versus everyday. Everyday is an adjective. These are my everyday shoes. Everyday means each day. I drink coffee every day. I once got an email from a company that said, "We make learning fun every day." Without the space, that sentence suddenly means learning fun is ordinary, not something you do daily.
Which makes me think of another. I could care less. People mean I don't care at all, but I could care less literally means you do care somewhat. The right phrase is I couldn't care less.
Exactly. And then there's irregardless. That one's not even a standard word. It's either regardless or irrespective, but irregardless is so common, some dictionaries list it as non-standard English now.
Here's a mistake that even makes it into news headlines. Double negatives. I don't need no help. In standard English, that means you do need help. It should be I don't need any help.
And don't forget the apostrophe disaster, using apostrophes for plurals. People write apples when they mean apples. Apostrophes are for possession or contractions, not regular plurals.
Which connects nicely to dangling modifiers. Walking down the street, the flowers were beautiful. Sounds like the flowers were walking. The subject needs to be clear. Walking down the street, I saw beautiful flowers.
Oh, and here's one for formal writing, avoiding casual contractions like gonna or wanna. Fine in conversation, not fine in a cover letter.
And yet, the singular they is now totally fine. Someone left their phone, used to be frowned upon, now it's accepted by most style guides.
But be careful where you put only in a sentence. I only spoke to her yesterday means I didn't do anything but speak. I spoke only to her yesterday means I didn't speak to anyone else.
Speaking of placement, commas are another native speaker weakness. People throw them in wherever they pause in speech, but commas follow grammar rules, not breathing patterns.
And there's the old don't end a sentence with a preposition rule. Modern English has relaxed on that. Who are you talking to? Sounds natural. To whom are you talking works too, but it's formal.
And while teachers used to say never start a sentence with and, writers break that rule all the time for style.
Which brings us to what I think is the ultimate embarrassing mistake, mixing up your and your. Writing you're amazing in a job application is an instant red flag. Always double check.
Let's finish with a quick fire quiz. I'll read a sentence, you spot the mistake. Ready? I could care less about the news. There's less chairs in the room than before. You're welcome. Walking to work, the rain soaked my coat.
The fix is, I couldn't care less. There are fewer chairs in the room than before. You're welcome. Walking to work, I got soaked by the rain.
And that's the point. These mistakes are everywhere. Even natives make them daily. The difference is now you're listening for them. You'll catch them in movies, in conversations, even in advertisements.
And once you start noticing, you'll naturally start correcting yourself. That's how you go from good English to great English.
Next time, we're tackling polite phrases in English that actually sound rude if you use them wrong. That's going to be fun.